Hey, aloha guys, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org, coming to you from the beautiful island of Maui, Hawaii, and the neighborhood known as Wahikuli. I'm here with my good friend Christian Henneke, and we are pleased to report a house is being rebuilt.
Amazing.
Can you believe it? So this is literally the first house that I've seen. Is this the first house you've seen? Yeah. First house that we've been able to find. They just recently opened up the streets of the burn area where you can drive in. It's a very small area that you can go in, and most of it is still behind lock and key, so to speak, and Checkpoint Charlie, but there are a few streets that you can go down. So we've been driving around today, and this is the first house that I've seen that's actually is under construction, and they got 2 stories up already. So I think everything just takes time. Obviously the whole island's on Maui time, literally, and then you throw the government into the mix, and I think Maui had the longest permit process before the fire, and I've heard it's only 26 permits have been issued. So
wow.
I wanted to throw out a little beacon of hope that things are happening here, and it's really exciting. And what it kind of reminds me of, Christian, I'll be honest with you, is your project that you started here a few months ago called the Lahaina Project, the Switch for Lahaina, and basically you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You start with digging a hole, then you put a foundation, and then brick by brick, or a 2x4 or 2x6 by 2x6, and then a few years it looks like a home. But in the beginning, it looks kind of messy. But the Lahaina Project, that thing kicked off strong. I think over a couple hundred people have made what we're calling the Switch for Lahaina, and it's helping people like families like this that are trying to rebuild their lives, but they lost everything. They lost their home, they lost their possessions, they lost their car, they lost their job, and right now the island is kind of dying a little bit more because tourism has dropped off significantly. But maybe just take a few minutes and share with us what's going on with the project right now, and for people that aren't familiar with it, there might be something that you can do to help people from this island, and kind of it helps them as well, right?
Yeah, and you might be watching going, wait a minute, you're like, I'm dying. Right? Like,
I've been there, done that too, right?
Yeah. We've been telling each other stories of struggle, adversity. It shapes us, right? It makes your story better. Right? That's what I tell myself anyway. So you may be thinking, well, hey, I'd love to go to Maui. I'm kind of broke. Have you noticed the economy? It's not just Maui. This suffocating blanket has been thrown over all little guys, all non-billionaires, have been taken to the cleaners pretty much. So
that's what it feels like.
Yeah, in case you're coming from that place, Switch for Lahaina isn't an ask to go find some more money somewhere, go turn over the couch or something, see if we can find some cash in there.
Not looking for donations.
No, it's not a donation, and it shouldn't mess your budget up, your existing budget. So even broke people, in my experience, in 2011, I failed my family horribly. This was on me. I made a series of terrible financial decisions. I took some big chances that I had no business taking. I tried to start a business and it failed badly. My family ended up on the street. We were evicted. And even during that time, I'm just reflecting here, I continued to put on deodorant, because I would have been, I did have a day or two where I didn't, and I was like, okay, I'll do anything to fix this problem.
We're not cutting that out of the budget.
Yeah,
right?
it's a few bucks. This is even as a homeless person, this is a problem I can solve. Yeah. So
you still brush your teeth, probably.
I did. I totally did. Twice a day.
So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. We're talking about deodorant and toothpaste and granola bars and vitamins, or just things that people are...
Just a bunch of basic things that we all, I think, even as broken down, bloody in a ditch little guys just trying to stay alive, we still buy this stuff.
But there's a difference, though, right, between where they're buying it now and where this would be bought from, and who it could help.
Yeah, it's all about switching away from the mega conglomerates who have a really vivid history, a terrible history of harm. They cause harm. We give them our money, they cause harm. I think if you took a minute to look, and this is some of the stuff I actually want to show you. Yeah. If you hit the page and put your info in, somebody from the crew will reach out. Actually, better yet, book an appointment. Like, look at your calendar in the next few days. Yep. Pick a time that works for you, and then be available for that phone call. It's going to be an unknown call, probably. I think they'll text you, actually. They're going to introduce themselves via text. So
and it could be someone from Lahaina or someone that's helping someone that's from Lahaina, because the crew, we call it the work crew, by the way, they've kind of grown. Yeah. And if someone's watching this and you're from Lahaina and you're suffering and you need to make some money, we want to talk to you. But the process is essentially they go to switchforlahaina.com. They give us their name and their email address and their phone number so that someone can reach out from the work crew, explain the program. You guys can see what I saw that compelled me to think, well, that's kind of a no-brainer. But also illuminated a lot of things I didn't know about the products that I was using and their toxicity. And then it also illuminated me to my favorite thing on the planet. You know what I'm going to say, right?
Big surprise.
Big surprise. This company has got the most.
You and me both.
Right. Okay.
I'm
I know.
with you. I'm
preaching to the choir.
Definitely.
But they've got the best beef I've ever had in my life. So they grow it on Kauai. They got a ranch on the Big Island. They got a ranches all over the Midwest too, I understand.
Yep.
But they have a meat processing plant here in Hawaii. So you're supporting local, but they deliver this beef straight to your door. It's frozen solid, and it's delicious. It's never had any antibiotics, never any growth hormone. It's a pure Black Angus herd, and it's just amazing. And
my friend said it's delitionable.
Right. Once you try this beef, I'm telling you, you'll think anything else doesn't taste good anymore. You're ruined, basically. It's all high choice or prime, which you would get at like the finest steakhouse, essentially, and it's about the same price that you pay at Costco. So it's a real blessing. As a matter of fact, this company was here right after the fire, right? They were delivering beef to the fire survivors free of charge. They gave away millions of dollars of beef, and they gave away millions of dollars of products that they would distribute in these beautiful trucks I heard that they came over with. And they didn't advertise that on social media. They didn't do some big splash, some big PR thing. You didn't even know about it.
No.
I didn't even know about it until after I started this project with you, and I learned about it just on accident. So that's a great outfit. They've done amazing things, and this is just another chapter, if you will, but this will directly benefit people, and it could benefit them for a long time. This is just not a Band-Aid, right?
Right. Yeah, it's not a Band-Aid. And back to the, so what if you're hurting? You might think, well, I don't know if I could really make the switch. If you're buying basics, like if you're human, I would joke, if you have teeth and armpits, or even either or, teeth or armpits, I would look at it. Submit your info and take a look, see what Eric saw and see what you think. Nobody's gonna, force you to do anything. You decide if you want to test out making the switch or not too. And the beef too, that you can even test the beef. You can get a box of that delivered and just see what Eric won't stop talking about.
But I'll warn you, the company has a 94% reorder rate?
96.
96, and the beef I think is like 97 or 98.
It's higher,
It's higher. So you're probably going to have the same reaction, but if for some reason you don't, you just hate it. They have a 100% money back guarantee within 90 days. You don't even have to send the product back. You just call them up and say, I don't like it, and they'll give you your money back. So there's zero risk, and it's an opportunity to help. It's an opportunity to just quit voting with your pocketbook towards the elites, who I think, quite frankly, may have had something to do with what happened here. I don't know exactly how, but I don't trust them, and I don't want to give them any more of my money. And also, we're learning that a lot of their products contain forever chemicals and these horrible things. And when they make those products in Europe or other countries, they don't put those ingredients in there, but in the U.S., they do. So the fact that there's an alternative is really good news. And I think it's the only company, right, that's vertically integrated. They make it in the USA and they deliver it to your front door. This is the only one.
On the ranching side, it's the only vertically integrated cattle operation on the continent. It's the only one of any consequence, like a large scale one.
Right.
I was going to say something. Oh, I'm forgetting. It was so good too. Oh man.
You're going to think of it.
I'm going to think of it. You better say something though, 'cause it's not coming fast.
No, this guy's never at a loss for words. So whatever's brewing in that mind, it's going to be good. But hey, just like they're finally rebuilding Lahaina, like this house behind us, we are doing our best to help people rebuild their lives financially and economically, and it's not just about the money. When a man or a woman has got a good, honorable thing to do, good work, something that they're proud of, and something that gives them some fulfillment, and as opposed to just sitting around twiddling your thumbs, wondering how you're going to survive, just having that type of an opportunity. And the stories that you've told me about people that you've helped, after COVID that are still getting paychecks today, that some of them unfortunately have been diagnosed with terminal diseases, but their family is going to be okay because this money is still flowing, because people are still brushing their teeth and putting deodorant on their armpits is essentially the essence of it, and they like the products. It creates financial stability, and quite frankly, that's not something most people have the opportunity to get. So
most little guys never experience that sort of thing.
So the fact that you kind of stepped out, because I know I wasn't easy to convince, right?
Yeah.
You can tell them, did I kind of hang up on you the first time a little bit?
It took a while.
It took a little while, because to me, everything in life is timing, and when you're putting out fires, I mean, he had the idea pretty early on, but it just, everything everything in its time, and I'm glad you stuck with it, because this is changing lives already, and there's going to be a lot of people I think are going to be very thankful for what you've done, and coming here 3 times. I know it's like we didn't have to twist your arm too hard. Right? Christian, actually, you lived here for like 5 years. So we'll hopefully get him back here full time. And anytime you want to come over, man, mi casa su casa.
I've seen that.
You can come over, and I got lots of good beef in the freezer, as you know.
Yeah, and he shared.
It's
the weirdest experience for me. I remembered what I was going to say.
Okay, good.
So, you know how I find myself talking about this all the time. So if we don't make a change, then we're voting for the mega conglomerates, the elites, and all that stuff. Well, I haven't talked a whole lot, other than saying it's the last made in America family owned. You've heard some of that probably if you've been on the channel much. These people, they have such good hearts. They're such good people, and I think if you had a chance to get to know them and their track record, you would happily. That's another reason to switch. I was thinking about disasters and how they showed up here so fast. I didn't know. They've done that after hurricanes, and they don't announce it. They're not like, hey, look at us. We're, being nice people. They just go serve. They just go help. They just go donate. They're diligent. They're often the first boots on the ground of any organization.
Wow.
It's just who these people are. We could vote for that while helping people in Lahaina. There's so much good that we can do just by switching. And
sometimes it's like you don't know about these things until you find out. It's just like a word of mouth kind of thing, and that's kind of how your company has grown over all these years. I mean, it's been around since the 80s, I think. And you're in a dozen countries or so, and so it's not an accident that good things happen to good people, and businesses flourish when you do the right things. And it's just not
even if the elites would rather we didn't.
That's right.
Because they're losing market share to us.
And so now we have yet another reason to make the switch. So it's a very patriotic thing to do, but the fact that we're focusing it here in Lahaina is really special. So thank you guys for checking it out. I hope you enjoyed this little glimmer, what I think is a glimmer of hope. A rebuilt home, almost, right? 2 stories, and hopefully there'll be lots more of that to come, and we can see families moving back into their homes and rebuilding their lives. So thank you, Christian, for all you've done. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up on my channel, and you can go back to being the most aloha-infused audience.
Okay, sounds good.
You've proven it, bro.
Thank you.
All right, guys, till next time. Eric West out.